Hey there, I'm Max Harrick Shenk. I'm a writer, and I'm going to read a selection from my novel, almost said Meeting Dennis Wilson. You Don't Think She Is. This is chapter 14, and it's the narrator Brian Presley's 11th grade creative writing essay entitled My Best Friend. Brian Presley, creative writing, My Best Friend, first draft, October 15th, 1976. I met my best friend, Margot Ledoux, on the first day of second grade, August 26, 1967, in Miss Peterson's second grade class at John Reynolds Elementary School. I always start the school year with a mixture of anticipation and dread. Every adult I know was always so excited for me to go back to school, and they talked about it like I was a 2-year-old. Ooh, you'll be going back to school soon. Aren't you excited? You'll have a new teacher and a new classroom, and you'll learn new things. Isn't it exciting? No. Look, August is pool weather, not school weather. Maybe you like to get dressed up and go sit still inside for 7 hours, but you get paid. I don't. Could I please just go be a kid, at least until Labor Day? But of course the answer is no. So on Monday, August 27th, 1967, like it or not, I got dressed up in new clothes with my new pencil box and new pencils and new crayons and new notebook and the same old lunchbox, and I got shunted out the door with my little brother Danny, with Mom standing at the front door lobbing a final shot of canister at our backs. Have fun, boys. Fun. Thanks, Mom. All of that changed, though, at around 8:30 a.m. We went to our classrooms for the anthem and the pledge and then lined up to meet our new teachers. Mine was Miss Peterson. In line we went, and then down the hall, 2 by 2, to our new room. That was when I met my best friend. The desks in the sunny classroom were arranged in a V shape with construction paper nameplates taped to the front. I found the one with the blue for boys, Brian Presley, on the front, and as I sat down, that was when I saw her. Her desk was directly across from mine in the U, and she was looking down at her desk, impatient, like she'd been waiting there for a while. The first thing I thought when I saw her was, I know her from somewhere. She had straight, long blonde hair combed down over her left breast, and a red gingham dress and red high-top canvas sneakers. The Pink for Girls nameplate on the front of her desk said, Marguerite Ledoux. I sat down and I felt like I was being watched. I caught her eyes and she smiled, and so did I. And I felt a rush of deja vu from the center of my head to the center of my chest. We both had to look down. I felt in that moment like we'd been friends already and we'd agreed to meet again someday, but we'd forgotten about it. But now, there she was. Miss Peterson called the classroom to order, and as I sat there waiting for her to call my name, I could feel someone watching me. But every time I looked at her, she looked away, down at her desk, or up at Miss Peterson, or over at the blackboard. I'd look and she'd look away. Then she'd catch me looking, and I'd look at Miss Peterson, or at my desk, or at the National Geographic map of our world behind her, or at her nameplate. Marguerite Ledoux. As I sat there trying to figure out how to pronounce her name, Miss Peterson said, Marguerite Ledoux, and she straightened up in her seat. She pronounced it Ledoux. It says here you're new to the school. Where did you go to school last year, Marguerite? Margot, she answered. Miss Peterson didn't get it. She blinked twice behind her Ben Franklin glasses. Margot. Now, where is that, sweetie? In western Pennsylvania? No, that's my name, Margot. A few of the kids giggled, and as Miss Peterson said, Oh, Margot looked across at me, grinning, and I felt that feeling again, and we both looked down. Miss Peterson wrote Margot's nickname in her roll book, then looked up. Well, now, where did you go to school last year, Margot? Ottawa, Margot said. It's in Canada. Parlez-vous français? Oui, Margot replied. The two of them batted a couple lines of French back and forth, and then Miss Peterson said, Tell everyone what we said, Margot. And Margot's voice got as soft and shy as a 3-year-old. She looked down, and as she spoke, I felt like she was talking to me. You asked me if I speak French, and I said yes, and then you asked me if they spoke French in my old school, and I said sometimes. Canada's bilingual children, Miss Peterson said, and she looked at me like she knew this was of particular interest to me. That means they speak 2 languages. She looked at Margot. Do both of your parents speak French, Margot? Well, Mom does. Dad tries. I translate. You translate, Miss Peterson said. How lucky for them. Yeah, sometimes, Margot said. Sometimes, Miss Peterson repeated. Well, welcome to our country and our class, Margot. And Margot looked at me quick and smiled. And as I smiled back, we both looked down at our desks. I can't remember what we did the rest of the morning. Everything is a blank right up to the most important part of the day. Recess. We got in line to go outside in alphabetical order, paired up, boy, girl, boy, girl. There must have been more boys than girls, though, because guess who I was paired with? She stood next to me, looking down, swinging her legs side to side in front of me. Okay, class, Miss Peterson said, and those of us who'd been at school since kindergarten knew the drill. Zip your lips, hold hands, and start down the hallway. No running until you got to the playground. So, I took Margot's hand, and she said, "Aw," and she kissed me. Then she looked up. All of our classmates were holding hands, too. She turned bright red. "Pardon," she whispered softly, and she squeezed my hand, and we followed the rest of the class down the hall. When we got outside, we ran together over to the sliding board. I didn't know what to think. I knew what I felt, like I knew Margot from somewhere before. But on the other hand, she kissed me. The girl kissed me. Before I could think too much about it, though, Margot was climbing up the ladder to the top of the slide. "Watch this, Bry," she said, and she lay flat on her belly, shouted, "Cowabunga!" and then dove down the slide head first. Cool. Unfortunately, from my vantage point on the ladder, I could see she was going to get in trouble. Miss Peterson was already on her way over. I could already hear what was coming, not just scolding, "Margot, we don't do that here," but my name getting dragged into it. "Brian, maybe you can tell Margot about the playground rules." "Brian, maybe you can be a weenie." No way. As I watched Margot hoist herself up and Miss Peterson started into her lecture, "Margot, we don't go down the slide head first, honey." I did the only thing I could do. I lay belly down on that hot silver slide and I flew down head first. Miss Peterson glared at me. "And Brian, you certainly know we don't do that here. We go sitting down the slide." I looked at Margot and she was trying not to grin. We were marked, but I didn't care. When we ran around to the ladder, I let her go down first and she yelled, "I'm going sitting down the slide, Brian." At the end of recess, as we all lined up to go back into the building, I had to ask Margot one question. "Margot, will you be my best friend?" Margot bit her lower lip like she had to think about the consequences of this decision. When she looked up, she was smiling. "Sure, Bri. Will you be mine?" I laughed. "I asked you, didn't I?" And as Miss Peterson said, "All right, class," Margot took my hand, gave it a squeeze, and I squeezed her hand back, and we followed our classmates into the building. And we've been best friends ever since. The end. I'm Max Harrick Shenk. This is the novel You Don't Think She Is. Thank you.